Today's bullet journal topic is going to be all about weekly spreads. So I've been bullet journaling for 8 years, and that's a lot of weeks, and I've been doing different layouts for every month or so. And so today I'm going to show you 10 different layouts to inspire you and that you hopefully can use and find useful to use in your bullet journal for this year. I have multiple videos about bullet journal ideas and themes and pages and layouts and everything, so if you would like more, check out this playlist right here or in the description down below. But today I'm not going to do new weekly spreads nor new themes. I'm going to show you the themes I already did in my previous bullet journals and the weekly spreads that went with it, and so I hope you enjoy it. So I'm going to start with a random notebook. I'm going to grab this one. This is from 2022. During this year, I did a lot of different themes. I experimented with a lot of colors and aesthetics. And so I have a lot of weekly spreads here to show you, being this the first one. This is a rolling weekly spread. It's a weekly spread that is not actually a weekly spread. As you can see, I have more than 7 days in here, and some of them repeat themselves. So this was July 2022, and I was looking for weekly spreads and layouts that would make me feel more productive, yet don't get a lot of work done on my weekly spreads. And this is one of my favorites because, first of all, is rainbow. This is the one that I did for July, where my theme was just like collages and rainbow. And I really like this weekly spread mainly because, and this is the actual weekly spread that I used to do last year. This year I haven't done one like this yet, but this is the type of weekly spread that I like because I can just put the header for the day, my tasks, and then at night I do the next day's header, and I can already write the tasks for the next day. And the only bad thing about this weekly spread is that you can't really plan ahead, but as you can see, this section is not for days of the week. For me, I added a section for while at work tasks and the free time tasks. So this was how I organized my weekly spread, but you can use these 3 parts for your daily logs and this whole section for like a weekly to-do list. This is a very easy weekly spread to set up and easy to plan ahead as well. Here is a similar layout, but with a different aesthetic and different meanings. So here I did an actual weekly spread on this side, and I combined the weekend here because I guess that was making sense to me at the time. I no longer do that, but you can always combine the weekend. And I had this page for the weekly spread and this page for any weekly things. So at this time I was dividing it into this week and next week tasks, and this is really important if you feel like you have something that you want to get done but not quite this week, just the next one. You can divide the tasks between things here, and it helped me a lot at the time. I was actually adding things here, and then sometimes I would do something from next week on this week because I actually had the time, and it was really easy to plan out as well. And here on the side is just a funny, goofy thing, which I would write the things that I was watching every single day. I think this week or this month I was at home most of the days, and I was just adding here the shows that I was watching. Your weekly spread should fit your productive needs, and it should be for your benefit when it comes to being productive. But if you want to include fun things in your weekly spread and make it like more fun and memorable, I actually recommend adding these sections on the side, just so you know what you were watching at this time, or the music of the week or the month, or any memories that you would like to have in here for the week. This layout is not the prettiest, but it got the job done. If you really like to be productive and you don't like any weekly spreads with doodles on it, and you just need your bullet journal to be your major tool for productivity, I highly recommend this one. This was one of the boring weekly spreads that I used to do, but at the time it made sense, and I really like how the setup is made. So these are actually 2 weekly spreads in 2 pages. So right here I have the events for the week, and here I have the tasks for the week. This is not called a weekly spread, it's actually called a weekly log because you're not dividing your tasks between weeks. And for me at the time it made sense to have this layout here just because I was full with work and I couldn't really check things up every single day. I knew what I wanted to do for the week, but I didn't want to check things out on my daily logs each week. So I tried this one, and it's really easy if you just want to have a to-do list for the week and a section for events. This worked perfectly, and of course then you can add doodles at the top and here at the bottom if you want. It's totally up to you. But the important part is that this weekly spread helped me a lot when being productive. And these weekly spreads are not only for you to be productive, these are actually very time saving because they are really easy to set up. As you know, I'm trying to live a more slow life and be meaningful of what I do, and weekly spreads like this can save you a lot of time. And not everything has to be Instagrammable and has to be pretty for social media, so sometimes doing a weekly spread like this can actually save you. But of course, that if you want to go all out and decorate your bullet journal like it's some art piece, I actually recommend doing a pegboard weekly spread. So this is a theme that I did for August 2021, and this theme was really popular on my channel because it was really fun to do, and I really enjoyed the grid in the background. And this theme was actually like pegboard, like home decor, and I actually did the weekly spreads hang up on this pegboard. And the pegboard is obviously optional, but I feel like it adds some spice to the weekly spread and it makes it more fun. Plus, you have here a little section for to-do lists of the week, and you have different squares in here, and you can actually do them bigger or smaller. This is a really fun weekly spread, and I think that you should give it a try if you ever do a home decor theme or something that can be along these lines. Another alternative, and this is more for an autumn theme, but if you would like to have a more like hanging weekly spread, I did this one for September 2021 where I had my weekly spread blocks hang from tree branches. And this thing was really goofy, but I really enjoyed this idea of having these guys just hanging out on the tree. So this is another creative option for you to try this year. Still on this pegboard theme, this is the one that I did for July 2020, which is the OG pegboard that I did. And this one, this weekly spread is one of my favorites. First of all, you have space for a calendar and for an event section and 2 extra spaces in here, and you have the days of the week, and you have space for the weekly day and for the monthly day. So this is a really great option. And of course, these bullet journals are pretty big. These are A5 by Notebook Therapy, but I'm going to show you in a bit the one from the Traveler's Notebook in case you have a slimmer bullet journal. I really like these weekly spread because you have a lot of space to do everything, and includes doodles and your theme into it, and it's just perfect. And here I have that version, but in vertical style. So I'm not a huge fan of vertical weekly spreads like this, but sometimes I do it in my bullet journal just to spice things up a little bit. I feel like you cannot fit here a lot of things, and so you take up lots of lines just for 2 or 3 tasks, which is not a bad thing, you know, if you do the rectangles long enough, that's fine. But this is another example of a good weekly spread. At this time, I didn't use a event section. I actually used a task box right here. And I feel like these weekly spreads are really versatile and flexible, so you can use them however you want and do a lot of doodles around the page as well. And if you are into alternative weekly spreads, I really recommend this one as well. This is more of a horizontal one, and I did this for September 2020, and I felt like it was really fun to have my quote of the week here in the middle, in a little section for the calendar, or you can do it for a weekly to-do list. But I thought it was really fun to do the tasks here on the side, and then if I needed more space, I had it in here. It was not the same thing for this side though, but you know, I didn't need it, so that's fine. But you have a lot of lines for each week, even though it's like horizontally. So if you would like to spice up your bullet journal, this is another weekly spread that I would recommend you to try. You can have a quote in here or the major doodle of the month in the middle of the page, and on the side, your weekly spread daily logs. This is a more in-depth weekly spread that I actually did for December. And in this one, I included a section for my events of the week. Here you have the weekly days. You have a section for review of the day, which is something that I don't talk a lot about on my channel. I didn't do them every single week, but I try to include them in my bullet journal every once in a while. And then I had here my tasks for the week, and here the days of the week. And how this works is you basically write here all of the tasks for the week that you want to do, and here the weekdays, and you just cross them off when you do them throughout the week. And if any task gets migrated, you add a arrow here and it gets moved to the next week. I really like this weekly spread. It's not really like hardworking to do. I think you can set this up in 5 minutes, but it's also not really time consuming during the week because you don't have to write your headers every day, and you just need to check boxes here and add tasks here. I think it's really like self-explanatory and really straight to the point, and it's one of my favorite weekly daily logs type of layout. So this is my 2023 bullet journal, and it was a traveler's notebook. And one thing that I did in this journal was that I had the monthly pages in one insert, and my weekly spreads were done in a different insert. So I tried this for 6 months and I didn't really enjoy it. I don't think it's for me, but I believe that this is for someone else. And that's why I decided to include it in this video, because I divided this into 4 sections: a week events, my tasks for the week, my priorities of the week, and other things that I wanted to do. And I was just crossing things off. And this doesn't require any layout, any doodles, any extra time planning stuff on your pages. It's just really straightforward. And this is something that I recommend you to try if you're a minimalist and want to live a more simple life. This gets done really quickly and helps you a lot when being productive. I feel like this is the closest I did to the actual bullet journal method. And if you never read the bullet journal method book or Ryder Carroll's blogs posts about it, I'm going to leave the bulletjournal.com site at the description box below for you to check it out. I feel like if you're doing bullet journal for more than a year and you haven't read the bullet journal method book, you really should check it out. But staying on my traveler's notebook, one thing that I did, for example, for December was that I didn't plan my weekly spreads, but I did the rolling weekly spread from the beginning of the video. So I did a section for this week's tasks and then smaller windows for each week. And this one was not as I went through the week that I would do the headers. I actually planned where the stickers were going to be and where my headers would fit. And that's what I did. And thankfully, it fit perfectly. But, sometimes uh, you're going to need extra space and you don't have it. So yeah, for me it worked, and I really like this weekly spread because it's really full but fun and organized at the same time. And this is the middle point that I like about weekly spreads. So that is going to be all for this video. Let me know in the comments what other bullet journal idea pages or themes you would like me to do, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye guys!